Looking to stock up on high-quality Ayurvedic herbs? I've partnered with two of my trusted sources, Kerala Ayurveda and Gary & Son, to offer you 20% off their entire range of authentic products. From classical formulas to single herbs and seasonal must-haves, these are staples I use in my own practice. Use code Ojas Oasis for Kerala Ayurveda, Ojas Oasis 20 for Gary & Son. Links are in the show notes. Supporting your healing journey just got a little bit easier. In Ayurveda, nourishment isn't only about what we take in for the body, but also what we offer the heart. That's why we're honored to share Aura Cacao, a ceremonial grade cacao we've chosen as a dharmic partner for the Ojas Oasis community. Aura Cacao supports meditation, heart-opening rituals, and moments of conscious presence. As an exclusive gift for our listeners, use Ojas Oasis 20 for 20% off, and you'll find the link in the show notes. Welcome to Ojas Oasis, the podcast where ancient wisdom meets the modern being. I'm your host, Sasha Brzezinski, Ayurvedic doctor and guide on this journey into the heart of holistic wellness. Today, Erin and I continue our chakra series with Agnya, meaning divine permission. This is the sixth chakra, which is considered the master chakra. It is located at the third eye, the space between the eyebrows where the pineal and pituitary glands are, which is also where the Ida and Pingala nadis originate. The pineal and pituitary glands play crucial roles in regulating hormones, consciousness, and perception. The pineal gland is considered the seat of the soul. It regulates circadian rhythms by producing melatonin, which helps regulate sleep cycles, dreams, and altered states of consciousness. Associated with inner vision, intuition, and spiritual awakening, the pineal gland responds to light and darkness, mirroring the duality of perception, Maya, illusion, versus truth. Considered the eye of Shiva in yogic traditions, Agnya Chakra is linked to higher wisdom and deep meditation. Practices like Kriya Yoga, Trataka, or candle gazing, and deep meditation activate the pineal gland, enhancing spiritual perception. The pituitary gland is considered the master gland. It regulates hormonal balance by controlling the thyroid, adrenal glands, reproductive organs, and metabolism. It produces growth hormone, oxytocin, which is the love hormone, and stress hormones. It governs physical and emotional equilibrium. It also works as the bridge between the body and higher consciousness. So when you think pineal gland, think inner vision, allowing higher perception, deep meditation, and spiritual connection. When you think pituitary gland, think master gland, master regulator, ensuring hormonal and mental balance, helping integrate spiritual experiences into daily life. Activating the Agnya Chakra through Ayurvedic herbs, diet and lifestyle, breathwork, meditation, and chanting mantra such as Om Namah Shivaya influences pituitary function, leading to enhanced mental clarity, intuition, and self-mastery. The Rudra Granthi, or knot of Shiva, gets untied here, allowing access to the inner guru, intuition, a deeper knowing, natural intelligence, a state of clarity. Rudra Granthi is the final energetic block that must be untied for spiritual awakening. This knot represents ego, attachment to identity, and intellectual limitation. When untied or dissolved, Shiva consciousness or pure awareness arises. There is no thought here, because we transcend thought. And we can have phenomenal impact on the field, as it gives rise to genius mind and more Kundalini Shakti moving up. Agnya brings prana to the nervous system, so when we are balanced here, we go beyond habit and the causal plane. We have access to deep self-healing and a quantum mind. We receive the energy and knowledge of timeless dimension, a state of dynamic stillness. Today, Erin and I begin to scratch the surface on the power that is this master chakra. Let's get to our chat. Lemon water. Check.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're starting. It's 8 for you, so you're in.
I'm
that
a few steps behind. Exactly. Yeah, it's 8 here. It's 10 for you. 10. Okay, cool. So today we're going to be talking about the Agnya Chakra.
Yeah,
which means divine permission.
Ooh, I always love these when you drop these like 2-word definitions of them. I just love it. I love. I don't know. They're always so thought-provoking. Okay, wait, say it again.
Divine permission.
I love that we're just like going right into it too.
Yeah. Also honoring time. We're squeezing, actually, for listeners, just for full transparency, we're squeezing in a lot of recordings this week because I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. And it's nice, I talk about travel a lot. And speaking of travel, if anyone's ever tried traveling with like a suitcase of electronics, it does slow things down a bit at airport security. So it's nice to, sometimes you just want to get a little bit ahead of schedule if you do have something coming up. But this is the life of podcasters. We like to try and schedule when we can and squeeze it in. And Erin's gracious enough to fit this in her schedule today. So we're just going to jump right into this divine permission. It's the 6th chakra, and it's actually considered the master chakra. And it's right in between the eyebrows, a little bit above, but it's located at the third eye. Like people are quite familiar now, I think, with the third eye. It's an emoji. It's all over Instagram. That like one eye, the one eye.
Sure.
I think that's the third eye because it's not two. Like the side eye with the 2 eyeballs, and then there's like that one eye. I think that's the third eye.
Okay.
Which is we'll get into what that third eye is. But so I also want to note that the first 5 chakras is really what Ayurveda works with. And then as we get into the third eye and the crown, those are really outside of the 5 elements. So then we've gone sort of beyond the Ayurvedic realm scope and more into the more higher spiritual goals of Ayurveda and yoga. And really Ayurveda, that's the point. It's to prepare your body so that you can reach these higher realms, right?
The foundational stuff. I mean, and there's a reason, again, I mean, we talk about this every time, but it's helpful to think of these things as foundational and building upon each other, right? You can't talk about the 6th without having addressed the first 5, right?
Exactly.
You're not going to achieve enlightenment without knowing who you are or having love in your heart, things like that. So it's all cumulative.
Exactly.
So go back and listen to the other 5 if you haven't yet.
So this is where the pineal and the pituitary glands are. The pineal gland is where DMT is stored. So when people take plant medicine, they are activating this gland. Really, it's a hormonal gland. It's part of the endocrine system. We talked about endocrine system, I think season 3 or season 2, and the pituitary, which is the master gland. So when we say master chakra, I mean, we are so run by our hormones, our moods, our energy levels, our ability to function. And since the pituitary is really the one that it's the one that really begins the whole process. It starts from the brain and then it all goes down. That is really the head domino in the domino effect as far as glands go in the endocrine system. So the fact that both the pineal and the pituitary are located in that area of the third eye, that is why it's called the master chakra. And it's also where the Ida and the Pingala nadi originate from this chakra.
Okay. Before we talk about the nadis, what does the pineal gland do?
Holistic practitioners believe that when the pineal gland is activated, it can lead to a heightened sense of intuition, clarity of thought, and an increased awareness of one's surroundings. Which, yeah, that's obviously, that's the subtle body. But as far as like a physical gross body, I think melatonin secretion.
Yep. Okay. Modulates sleep patterns, circadian rhythm, all of that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yes, very important.
Okay.
So, yeah, the pineal gland is often claimed to be the body's DMT factory.
Mm.
And so the brain releases large amounts of the compound when we dream. So during REM cycle and also during death. So as we die.
What? We release DMT?
Mm-hmm.
What? That's wild. Okay, interesting. Which makes sense when you think about plant medicine experiences going through that
Hallucinating. Yeah.
death and rebirth.
Just like dreaming. I mean, so
Mhm.
because it's either that we're just like dreaming of this or that DMT is producing intense altered states of consciousness.
Mhm.
Altered states of consciousness. So it's not that it could very well be just that we're not used to activating these states of consciousness, but we can basically what this chakra is saying is that you don't necessarily need plant medicine, or what yoga is saying is that we're sort of designed to be high. We have the innate built-in technology to access these altered states of consciousness. And this is where Ram Dass and Timothy Leary, they kind of diverged paths when they realized that all the keys to mastering consciousness are within you. But Timothy Leary believed in going the plant medicine route, and Ram Dass believed in going the yoga route and doing the more spiritual inner work to build that within yourself versus the quick trip there. Because the quick trip there, the thing is that you come out. So you have to keep taking the plants.
Yes. I have a lot to say about it.
Since you work on...
Yeah, I work with a foundation that focuses on it. And we don't have to go down a rabbit hole with this. But what it does allow you to do is like when you access it for the first time, it allows you to, you know that it's there. And then you can work towards doing that on your own, right? Once you've kind of experienced it and you have the quote muscle memory in your body and in your mind, and it's like you see the top of the mountain, you know it exists. And then the work is achieving that stuff without aid, of course. But it does allow you to access it and know it exists and yes, do the work to get there on your own. But yeah, sure. Anyway.
I think, it's a completely valid exploration and experience. I mean, there's nothing wrong. I'm a big proponent of experimenting and not only experimenting with plant medicine, but the fact is that plant medicine has been around longer than we have. Probably we've evolved with it.
100%. So, mushrooms? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, shamans and doctors and even the seers, the rishis, the ancient seers of the Vedas. I'm sure that there were some mushrooms laying around, or some other compounds that were laying around. That how else did we learn about the plants? We were living among them, and then one day someone probably just ate some, and something started happening. So we're a curious species. I mean, it's going to happen that we're going to connect with nature, and our things will happen with our brain, and it's important to connect with these altered states of consciousness because, again, this is dealing with. We're out of the 5 elements now. So we've transcended. We're working our way up into the more subtle. After ether, there's no more subtle element. So now you're in the realm of beyond when you get to the third eye, which is a really important thing to be able to come out of your body. But it's also really important to come back into your body.
Yeah.
Once you've come out of it. And some people have a difficult time of doing that.
Integration is a huge...
Integration.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so let's talk more about this chakra.
Hey, y'all. Sasha here for a quick pause. One of the biggest misconceptions about Ayurveda is that there are universal answers. There aren't. The core principles are universal, yet 2 people can struggle with the exact same symptom and need completely different recommendations based on their constitution, lifestyle, and current state of balance. That's why personalized guidance can be so valuable. If you've been enjoying the podcast and want support applying these teachings to your own life, I offer a 30-minute Ayurvedic strategy session where we can explore your unique situation and discuss what working together might look like. You'll find the booking link in the show notes. Now, let's get back to the episode. Yeah. So the Ida and Pingala nadis originate here. And that's where, so when the Ida and Pingala, those are the subtle channels. So in Ayurveda, we have the gross channels, which are the shrotases or the shrotamsi. And in yoga, we have the subtle channels, which are called the nadis. And there are about 72,000 nadis all over the body. And the three main ones are the sushumna, which is the center column along the spine, and interlacing along the sushumna are the Ida and the Pingala. And so those are the three main nadis. And every time that the Ida and Pingala cross, there's another chakra, another energy vortex.
I remember this. Sorry, I'm like looking for this back during TT, or teacher training. I remember making this visual. I like needed a visual of the nadis, and I made this like diagram in PowerPoint so I can see it. I'm looking for that. I wonder if I still have it. But yes, I forgot that the chakras are located at the intersection of the nadis. What a basic thing to have forgotten.
It's a refresh.
But,
this is why we pick up the knowledge always. We always pick it back up. It's not the book that we just leave on the bookshelf. It's like we constantly come back because it is easy to like it's a process to really get this stored into your deep memory and to like there's a process of knowledge integrating into your body and into your deeper memory for sure. So the Ida is represented by the water element and the Pingala is represented by the fire element. So you can also guess which one is the feminine and which one is the masculine and which sides they are. And if not, I will gladly share. So the Ida is the feminine, and that's your left side. And the Pingala is the fire element, and that's your right side.
Which makes sense because we've also talked about lunar being the left, feminine, water, solar, masculine, fire, right.
Exactly. And that's where it comes from. And so that when we do nadi shodhana or that alternate nostril breathing, or honestly any pranayama, but especially when we're doing equal inhale and exhale through the left and right, and we're clearing the nasal airways, we're also clearing the Ida and Pingala nadis. And by doing so, we're balancing the chakras. So it's a direct, pranayama is like a absolute direct gateway to the chakras, to your subtle body, to your emotional body. So it's a great way to regulate yourself. And breathing in a yoga class. We've been talking a lot about asana with these chakras because during a yoga asana class, that is exactly what we're doing. We're not just moving the body, stretching the body, strengthening the body. We're accessing the chakras through the breath. You know, we're creating a sense of safety by cueing the rooting and the grounding through the feet and the fingertips. We're cueing opening the heart, releasing stored sorrow, opening the hips. We're you know, a lot of these cues, they're not just about alignment, although alignment of the physical body is very important for just the body, you know, from a purely functional standpoint. But also you may start to feel like so much lighter at the end of a yoga class because you've also been able to access deeper layers.
We all know that feeling. Maybe we don't all know them, but maybe we should because it feels really good. When you do certain postures and we get the alignment right and you do it, you can literally feel release of something subtle move around. You feel an openness. You feel a flow happen. And that's a result of accessing the chakras, accessing these subtle systems and allowing them to have clarity and movement and to be unblocked. So you can feel that. You can literally feel that subtle movement sometimes, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think the best yoga teachers know going into a class, the intention, like they'll either say you choose your intention, or they'll do like a little dharma talk in the beginning, or read like a line of a sutra or something before you start. And what they're doing is they're setting you up to go to a place where you might not even realize is there. Quite frankly, you might literally not know. So yoga teachers are absolutely healers in their own right because they're guiding you to deeper parts of yourself. And making that space really feel safe to do that.
Yeah.
So shout out to you, Erin. You're a yoga teacher. I want to also mention that there's another knot here. Remember, I was talking about the Mula Bandha. There's a Mula Bandha, which is that sensation of like when you need to pee and you're holding in your pee, and also your anus. So like when you're holding in basically urine and bowels, that muscle that tightens, that's the Mula Bandha. So in a yoga class, when they're over like activate the Mula Bandha, that's what they're talking about. And you activate it in certain postures to really connect with your core.
Lock in and harness.
Your core strength. And then we talked about the Vishnu Granthi, which is located in the throat. We talked about this last week, or literally just Monday. So this is about speaking your truth and being able to express yourself, basically, but with compassion and doing it in a graceful way.
But there's a difference between the bandhas and these knots that you're talking about.
Yes.
The bandhas are something different, and there's 4 of those, and I don't know how much we want to get into that. I don't know how much we want to confuse people, but
you're
the
right.
knots
You're
that
right.
you're talking
There's
about.
The Brahma. I didn't even mention I mentioned the Mula Bandha and I never mentioned the Brahma Granthi. I don't think I did.
So there's what's the difference? What's a Granthi? I mean, there's a knot.
It's a knot.
It gets confused. I mean, just folks, I know we're talking about like the chakras are like an energy wheel, and then there's like knots, and then there's like bandhas, which are like locks. So I get that there's a few different, I guess, systems to keep track of here. For the sake, we're mostly focusing on the chakras, but around them there are also other, energy centers of the body that we talked about. So,
and we cue them. Or maybe we only cue the bandhas. I shouldn't have confused people. I was thinking of I want to talk about the Brahma Granthi. The Brahma Granthi is a knot between the Muladhara and Svadhisthana, and it's linked to survival instinct, the need for food, water, and shelter, which we've talked about before. But basically, any like general lack of feeling grounded manifests as fear of death, anxiety about food, shelter, or clothing, and it causes laziness, ignorance, clutter, fighting with others over trivial issues. How can it be resolved? Letting go of defense mechanisms, practicing gratitude, fostering healthy relationships, and recognizing that we can exercise freedom of choice. And Brahma refers to the Supreme Spirit, and Granthi, of course, means knot. So that's the first knot. And then the Vishnu Granthi is in the throat, and then the third Granthi is Rudra Granthi in the third eye. So those are the 3 Granthis. There's only 3 knots.
Okay. And those, I just also looked this up on the side. So the knots, they're like not good knots. We like don't want, right? It's like a blockage, right? So they aren't necessarily, they're different in the sense that these are things that can accumulate or they can be blockers. And they have 3 main location centers. So it's not.
They're blocking the.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And then bandha is a lock. So that's the difference. There's a knot, and then there's a lock. Bandhas are the locks, and the Granthis are the knots.
Yep.
In Kriya Yoga and Hatha Yoga, we talk about bandhas a lot. So it's to lock the vital energy into the body. So once we activate it and wake it up, it's like, okay, hold it. Let it sit there. Let yourself saturate in it before you just keep circulating it around. You really want to like lock it in, and you're increasing your capacity to hold actually as you lock it in there, which is a very profound spiritual practice. Practicing holding in large amounts of energy. I mean, everything we've been talking about has been leading us up basically to this concept.
Yeah.
Why do we do any of these practices? Why do we need to know about this in our bodies? Basically, we're increasing our resilience. We're practicing doing this on a very intimate level inside of ourselves so that when difficult energies, when we're around difficult energies or when there's chaos happening around us in our environment, again, we can hold that and it won't really deter our sense of balance, flexibility, strength, all the qualities that we're really developing in a yoga class.
Right.
So
reduce your response time. It's like mastering all of these skills. So when you're in the heat of the moment, your body like knows what to do. It's had enough practice knowing how to respond. And so there's less
literally muscle memory.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So I know we took a step back just to go over some of the other.
I'm glad we did, though. That was a good refresher for me too.
Yeah. I mean, listen, bodies are complicated. There's a lot on a physical and subtle level. There's a lot of systems. They have a lot of names. They're very nuanced, right? Knot versus a lock versus a energy center, right? There's a lot of, and those are just then there's like Western terms that we have on top of all of that too, right? So there can be a lot to keep track of. So any questions, just reach out. So let's talk a little bit more about the third eye. Okay. So what does it look like? This is what we've talked about in previous conversations about the other chakras. So what can it look like if it's in balance, when it's out of balance? Maybe we talk about that a bit.
So the Rudra Granthi is the knot of Shiva. It gets untied here. This is where the inner guru is. So when we say the inner guru, we're talking about intuition, a deeper knowing, natural intelligence, and a state of clarity. And there's no thought here. So this is a transcendental state. When it's activated, we can have phenomenal impact on the field. It gives rise to genius mind. So think of anyone that's like super innovative. Elon Musk comes to mind for our generation currently. Albert Einstein, Steve Jobs. So when it's activated, more Kundalini Shakti is moving up, which means that your body's able to, like, Kundalini is very, I don't know if people realize, it's very electric. It's very much, you can think of it as like lightning shooting up your nervous system. And that Kundalini is in all of us, but it's dormant. We don't activate it. And we don't practice activating it. And we also don't build up the stability in our channels, in our structure to even hold that. Again, unless you're a yoga practitioner, unless you have an Ayurvedic lifestyle and you know that you need ghee and you need to drink water. Like, again, just like kind of fundamental lifestyle, nutrition, sleep, hydration, stretching, building physical bodily strength. This is all really important to be able to have that Kundalini even make it up and not destroy you. It's because it's very powerful.
Right.
So yeah. So when that Shakti is able to make it to the third eye, it opens up this whole other access really to your brain that gives you it's access to creative intelligence. It's the genius mind because it's going beyond the 5 elements. It's actual divine. It's beyond us. It's beyond the human brain. And there's no thought here. So also when you're in deeper states of meditation, you're abiding in the third eye.
Right. Let's talk about that word thought for a second and how it's different and how it's not meditation. I think that's something that people, I don't know if it's confused with when it comes to meditation. People are like, oh, I can't help it. Thoughts come up in my brain. But how would you differentiate thought from, I guess, not thought or meditation? Like, are you supposed to be thinking when you're meditating? Are you supposed to be stopping your thoughts? Or, I mean, I kind of know the answer here and I'm just trying to set you up a little bit with like, I want to talk about that word thought for a little bit and what it means and doesn't mean.
Yeah, we all do it. We're all addicted to doing it. So we might as well break it down. Thought is something that the mind is doing naturally because it's very much like a monkey who's looking for a banana. And that banana is inner peace. That banana is contentment. That banana is just feeling equilibrium, homeostasis, and
survival.
Wants to be
survival, right? Your brain's trying to keep itself alive and trying to like find the things that it needs to sustain life. So there's that too. Yes, of course, there's the desires and wants and comforts, but there also is the like survival, always trying to
surviving so that you can feel. I think we're not surviving so that we can keep thinking about surviving. We're surviving so it all really boils down to wanting to feel contentment. So we're wanting to find the food and the shelter so that we can feel contentment.
Mm-hmm.
Even on a more, we're getting to the absolute like center core of what the mind is looking for. That's what honestly keeps us thinking, because we can't find that center essential core. And some people, even when they have enough, and they have more than enough, way more than enough, they're still looking for the banana. They're still looking for the core, fundamental, essential state within themselves, which is again, just to feel good. You're good. You're just good. Like it doesn't even need to be ecstatic. You don't need to feel ecstatic bliss. You're just good.
Yeah.
And that's really what the mind is looking for with thought. What is going to give me that feeling? So we're looking, and we're constantly looking for it outside of ourselves. So it never ends, because that's not where it is. So it's almost like, when you like lose your keys and you can't seem like, you need to really retrack your steps. But instead of doing that, you just kind of go into this manic search all over the house, and you make piles, and you're just searching every drawer, and you're moving. By the time you're done looking for it, your whole house looks like a tornado swept through it. And if you had just taken the, where was I last? Like, let's retrace the steps. You can just find, very in a very calm way, you can probably find them quicker, in a matter of minutes, right? So that's what meditation is. It's let's retrace our steps to find what it is you're really looking for. And thought is just going to happen because it's the natural process of the brain. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with thought. It's just the awareness. It's all that we really need to do is be aware of why we're thinking, and that we are in control of them. Yeah. That they don't rule us. And that dynamic shift, that awareness and perception shift, is the key in meditation. It's like, okay, these thoughts are coming. And then you come back to, again, there's different types of meditation. Yeah. So I practice Vedic meditation or transcendental meditation, and you're given a mantra and you just repeat it. And it's a mantra that's chosen by a teacher that initiates you. And it's a bija mantra. It's a seed mantra. And that seed mantra doesn't have any meaning, but it's a vibration that connects you to this divine permission. So it keeps bringing you back to, it's not out there. Your peace and contentment and the banana is not out there. It's in here. Come back. It's in here. And you keep thinking, and then the mantra comes back and you're like, oh yeah, it's inside. Right. So it's just a constant whisper of a reminder of, come back. We're right here. We're good. Remember? Oh yeah. You're thinking, thinking, and the mantra. So, right. And everyone's going to have their own mantra. And that mantra can be, it doesn't even, like, if you're not a Vedic meditator, it can also be, there's a universal one called So Hum, which is a very popular one.
Okay. I teach my kids this sometimes when they're having a hard time sleeping. Even just breathing in one word and breathing out another word. Sometimes I'll just be like, breathe in through your nose and think of the word peace. And then when you breathe out, think love, right? So you're just like, breathe in this feeling or thought or word, and then breathe out this other, breathe out love and send that, so just having one, which is kind of like what Soham does too, as well.
Totally.
But, and with meditation too, something I like to remind people that you're not trying to totally clear out the brain or stop everything. I mean, you're trying to just slow that down, become aware of your thinking, right? Your thoughts will come up. It's very hard to maintain this space of just total blank canvas in your mind, right? We focus on the breath. We try to have that clarity in our mind, and the thoughts come up, just see them, greet them, and then let them pass, right? Let the clouds roll by. I mean, we talked about this visual the other week of being this, thing in the ocean that's slowly floating down to the ocean floor, and all around you, the water and the fish and the kelp and all that floating around you are your thoughts, and just let them flow around you, not consume you or become part of you. Another visual I like too is this like apple tree don't pick the apples, just look at them. Appreciate, you can see the thoughts are the apples, right? You can see them, you can appreciate them, but don't pick them or eat them. You don't need to right now. Let them be where they are. You'll get to them later, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just creating this separateness between yourself and your thoughts, and creating this like seer of the mind as a separate entity than like, I am my thoughts. I am consumed by this. So you don't have to like sit there for 15 minutes without a thought coming up. It's going to happen.
Of course. Yeah, that shouldn't be the expectation. I love that you say that that's not the goal, is to stop thinking, because I don't like in meditation, it's very important to let it happen on its own. The thinking will stop on its own, but not if you try to not think.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Right.
It's like that same concept of don't look at the color red, no matter what you do. When you see it, don't look at it. It's of course, and you also can't say, don't make the effort, because I also think that now you're efforting to not effort.
Yeah.
So just let your mind do its thing, but just keep coming back to, at least in this technique, there's different meditation techniques, whether it's Erin's with the breathe in and inhale deeply, exhale completely. I also like that. It's like inhale. And that's also like bringing your concentration on your breath, the quality of your breath.
Yes.
Or you can inhale love. You want it, that's what you're bringing into your body, and you're exhaling stress. Like that's what you want to get rid of. Or what you were saying, Erin, is like sending love out. So there's just different ways of doing it. There's no one size fits all. Whichever way you really feel charmed to practice meditation is the way that you should practice. But you mentioned, how do you know if it's online? How do you know if your third eye chakra, your Agnya Chakra, is activated? So you have really good clarity of mind. Your memory is really good. You're just improved memory overall. You're remembering names, places, people, what you did yesterday afternoon. Improved concentration. So being able to sit in longer states of focus, which we all, can you imagine? I mean, we're like in the age of ADD. And so working on this chakra would be amazing for us as a society. So improved concentration. I mean, think about kids too, with their iPads and stuff. It's like, we need to get them out of their iPads and into their third eye. Increased awareness, enhanced intuition, control over your senses, and an awakening of the spiritual journey. Emotional intelligence, I think too, is big here. And an ethereal sense of bliss, an ethereal feeling of bliss, which I can understand why that was probably listed, and it's ethereal. We're getting into like, there is no element here. This is connecting to higher states, not only higher states of consciousness, but quite literally other dimensions of reality.
Yeah.
Other dimensions of reality that exist that we just don't talk about unless it's in the psychedelic plant medicine world. We talk about, being able to see the past, or seeing past lives, past life regression, or seeing into the future and being able to but see what's going to happen. And that's been happening. Listen, this is not new. This is not radical knowledge, new knowledge. It is radical knowledge, but it's not new. And we've been going to psychics forever, people that have a really, really well developed third eye chakra. That's all that it is. When you say, oh, that person's psychic or they have psychic ability, that's what it means. It's just that they've either been born with this innate strength in this energetic field, or they've practiced it and they've, done the yoga and done the meditation techniques and the breathwork techniques, and their third eye is open, and they can easily just, like, sometimes, I don't know if you've ever gone to a psychic, but you sit with them and sometimes they immediately can just, the first thing out of their mouth. Really?
Never.
The really good ones are Yeah.
I'm sure it'd be mind-blowing.
It's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And of course, there are going to be people out there that are like, this is a bunch of hodgepodge.
Mhm.
You know, this is too woo-woo. Because we are getting more woo as we go up the chakra system.
Yeah.
We're getting
Subtle.
more and more ethereal and more, subtle. Oh, and this chakra brings prana to the nervous system. So that's a fun one, because the vagus nerve is the nerve that connects the brain to the gut. Again, the higher that Kundalini is going, well, it can't go any higher than it can go higher than the brain, because we're going to be talking about the crown next. But in terms of being inside of our body, this is the last one. So this is the highest. I mean, this is why you feel high when this energy is in your brain, because you're bringing all of that energy as high as it can possibly go. Yeah, we go beyond. We go beyond our conditioning, our habits, our thinking. Thinking is really there, like Erin was saying, to keep us alive, like survival. Thinking allows us to problem solve and figure out what is the best way to get, if you're in a situation that's challenging, you can think really quickly about how to either diffuse it or get out of it. But we're not always in survival mode, but if we're constantly thinking that, then our body thinks that we are in constant survival mode. So that's why this is so important to get to practice and get used to a state where we're not always thinking, so that our body can experience greater levels of relaxation, restoration, rejuvenation.
Well, I think of going back to the divine permission. It's like allowing yourself to, and I'm seeing it this way, at least, like take your hands off a little bit and let the divine do its thing, not overthink or get in the way of, like, allow that surrender to happen, permit divinity to run its course, to do its thing, and not let your cognition get in the way of that.
I love that. Totally.
I mean, because our cognition, and I think I like to go back to biology, I guess, and humans and how we've evolved, and like our thinking and our brains and our capabilities of our brains and our cognitive function is what has allowed us to evolve, but it's also what gets in the way of our evolution as well, and what hinders it at times too, because it's such a powerful thing. But mushrooms don't have brains, but do they? They still are intelligent, right?
They have consciousness.
Yes, there's consciousness. Oh gosh, and there's so much. I mean, there's very much a difference between consciousness and the brain, and consciousness can't exist without a brain. And there's scientific studies to prove it. But don't get me started on that. But I mean, that's a whole. It's just I bring this up because our brains are powerful, fascinating things, and they are what have allowed us to make it this far as a species, but they can also be to our detriment. And so we have to learn how to master that, learn when to think, when not to think, when to let natural intelligence run its course, and when we need to intervene.
And you also asked the question of what it looks like when there's a weak or imbalanced ajna or Agnya chakra. It's funny because it's spelled differently in different places, like a lot of Sanskrit words are, because we're trying to transcribe words, and some of the letters are different, and we don't have the same pronunciation, but it is Agnya, even though it's spelled, sometimes it's spelled Ajna. It's pronounced Agnya. So just a little pronunciation Sanskrit class. But when it's out of balance, it can cause, from a physical standpoint, blurred vision, light sensitivity or photosensitivity, headaches, recurrent sinus issues like sinus infections, eye strain, and hearing loss, which is not eyes, but the ears and the eyes and the nose and the throat, ENT, are all very intimately connected.
Think of when you've just been staring at a screen all day. I mean, or your phone, whatever. Like, we know how that feels. Headaches.
Exactly.
Brain.
Oh,
exhaustion.
migraines. Yeah, migraines are listed here. Seizures, neurological imbalances, and endocrine imbalances. So anything I mean, honestly, when we're talking about anxiety and depression too, mental health, what do you think that all is? It's all serotonin, dopamine. It's all hormones. It's just the feel good, happy hormones that come from the endocrine system, which come from the third eye chakra. So instead of calling someone bipolar or clinical depression, we can say their third eye chakra, right, is weak, and we need to strengthen and stabilize it. It's just another way of saying it, but I feel like it's a beautiful way to not focus on the pathology and more focus on the human being.
Sure. Yeah.
It humanizes people again.
Yeah.
It takes them back into this place of there's nothing fundamentally wrong with people. It's just their vessel needs a tune up,
Yeah. Is meditation the only way to clean this thing up, to bring it into balance? What are other practices?
So on a subtle realm, if the Agnya Chakra is blocked or weak, someone might feel lost or adrift, like they don't know who they are and they don't know what to do with their lives, and they just don't really they're just lost, right? So I think when it comes to this chakra, it's really important to have a teacher because yes, the inner guru does live here, but having an outside teacher helps bring you to your inner guru. That's really the role. That's really the main purpose of having a teacher, is they bring you home to yourself. It's not that they have all the powers and, you have to keep following them. Otherwise you'll never get there. Like the best ideas, the best count again, like, and this is my own authentic answer to the question, because this is how I teach Ayurveda and this is how I hold space as a healer. And I believe that people are very much capable of experiencing altered states of consciousness, radical bliss, radical health, clarity, health, perfect health. But sometimes we just need to be guided there, right? And sometimes we just need a teacher or a friend or someone to talk to. So to answer your question, how do you strengthen it? It's, yes, finding like a spiritual teacher, a yoga teacher, Ayurveda teacher, but also like your community and the people around you that can serve as your teachers too. Like we talk about this all the time with your kids are your teachers, your husband is your teacher, their teachers are your teacher, right? Like when you drop them off at school and they like tell you a new thing about childhood development, and that's teaching. So, and also like when we go into plant ceremonies, we're not just, I mean, some of us just do it on our own, but the best, I think, a really amazing and powerful way to do it is to go with a shaman or someone who's very, very in tune with the plant and can create a ceremony that holds a really strong container for you.
Yeah.
And helps ground you and keep you safe as you go into those altered states.
Yeah.
So, because I don't always believe that outsourcing is necessary, but in this case,
yes, please.
When we're dealing with, we're kind of like in the big leagues when we're in the when we're in the third eye.
Yes.
And safety is really important when you're exploring this chakra. So
yeah, a lot of unknown and a lot of past things can come up that you don't know how to address.
Yeah. And if you're in a room by yourself and all of a sudden you start shaking uncontrollably, and I mean, you could really hurt yourself. Like that could be really dangerous. So not to scare anyone, but it's just, this is all real. I mean, energy is powerful. And so moving it up into these more potent places of our body, of our being, it's not child's play. It's very important to do it in the correct way. So that's in a nutshell. I would say having a teacher hold that space and gathering knowledge. I think not having the right knowledge is really important too. So reading about it, and there's so much more that we didn't cover. I mean, I just feel like we just touched the tip of the iceberg. Yeah. Like we just scratched the surface of this, but maybe we can continue in our next one when we talk about the crown. But I think for now we're good. And you have to run anyway. So
yeah. I've got Shabbat to go to.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. We have a bunch of 4 and 5-year-olds coming over this afternoon, so I got to party prep.
Oh my gosh, your kids are turning 5.
On
I wish I
Tuesday.
could be there.
Yeah.
Happy
It's going to
birthday
be
to them.
party time the next few days. So yeah, it's fun stuff. So yeah, I do have to run. We're going to go celebrate Shabbat with them at school and have a crew of kids come over after. So it'll be a good time. But thank you. This has been really great. I appreciate that we just jumped right into it. You're going to Jackson tomorrow. Yeah.
Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Great. I'm excited for you. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
I think you're going to love it. Yeah, it's going to be great. Well, I'll talk to you. Enjoy your last weekend in Boulder. Maybe not your last weekend. Maybe you'll live there.
Back.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm going to come back after Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Cool. Well, thank you. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.
I love you. Mwah.
Great. All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye. Thank you for listening to Ojas Oasis with Sasha Brzezinski. To learn more about Ayurvedic healing, please visit ojasoasis.com. We'll see you next time, and until then, have your smile. Hey y'all, Sasha here with a quick note before you go. If you've been listening to Ojas Oasis and are ready to explore what personalized Ayurvedic guidance with me could look like, I invite you to book a 30-minute strategy session with me. Normally, I charge $150 for a 30-minute consultation, but for podcast listeners, I'm offering this call for $100. We will discuss what you're hoping to create in your health and daily life. I'll share whether my approach feels like a good fit for you and what next steps might support you. You can book your session by clicking the link in the show notes. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.